Hello there and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to fix the internal server error when you're adding an API gateway to your Lambda function and attaching it to a trigger. So when you click on the API gateway, you get the message internal server error. So I'm going to show you how to fix this, and our end goal is to get your link to show the message not found, which is just empty JSON, and it shows no error. So we are going to fix and turn this into this. So we'll create an API gateway from scratch, attach it as a trigger, and ensure we get a success message. So the first thing is to search for the API gateway from the AWS services. And once you open it, click on Create API. In this series, we're going to be looking at the HTTP API. So click on Build, and the first thing you need to do is add an integration, which is your Lambda function. So you have to ensure that you've already created a Lambda function that is functional. Pardon the pun. And next is to choose your function. Make sure you know which function you're invoking, so don't put the wrong function. Once you add the integration, give it a name. So let's say test API, and click on next. Next, we're going to be using a post method for this to configure this route, and you can add your resource path depending on what you put in your static website or form, or where the data is coming from, where the post request is coming from, and click on next. Stage name, I like to use the default, but you can use whatever name you want. Like if you're in the production stage, you can use prod or production, or the development stage or the testing stage, but I like leaving it as a default, and auto deploy on, and click on next, review and create, then create it. So as soon as you create your test API, if you click on the invoke URL, you can see it functions just well. So head over to your Lambda function, and under the gateway, the API gateway, click on add trigger. Then let's add the new API gateway that you've just created. So it's test API. Deployment stage is the default that we selected, and the security, click on open and add it. So if you access your API gateway and click on the test API, you'll notice you get the message internal server error. Head over to your API gateway and click on the test API, and head over to routes. Under routes, since we created a post, delete the any if it's showing in your screen, and you're left with the post. Go into integrations, make sure it's authorized by that. Under the CORS, we need to configure this, and you can find the full configuration from this link. I'll post it in the description. So this is how you configure CORS for an HTTP API, official AWS documentation. So head over to the access control allow origin. They give you examples, so you need to use this to allow all origins. So just head over back to your API gateway and enter the asterisk. Click on add. Access control allow headers, authorization and star. Copy, paste. Always make sure to click on add. If you don't, it doesn't automatically add. So you might fill all the values, click on save. It won't save if you didn't add. This is get, post, delete, and asterisk. You can confirm that here, get, post, delete, and asterisk. Also access control expose headers. Is here, so click this, copy, Control C, then Control V. and add. Click on save. Now head over back to your Lambda function. You can refresh. Click on your API gateway, and when you go to test API, you should get the internal server errors gone. Thanks for watching, and you can leave me any questions you have in the comments, and feel free to subscribe for more solutions in future. Thank you.